great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Your obsession and the fact that it's shameful that you must rely on me, well, yes, especially when you offed yourself in the very intro. But such is life, and someone's got to set things right. So all idle heroes get more stress healed, or I can leave some people idle. Yet what we have here? Hysterical blindness, and here spotted fever. Oh, Selûne, you become a flagellant. That is not that good, but whatever. Yeah, let's cure you both, given that we have the slots for it. It's not a nice thing to say, Warbadon. Nonetheless, I think we last time did succeed in gathering something. Here we go, the blackest of fates, all of the parts. So let's see what we have here. Our purpose was to desecrate the animalistic shrines and thus disperse the swine folk. But soon we came across an artifact. This is far beyond the crude fetishes crafted by the pigmen. It looked as if obsidian had been grown and twisted in the dark symbol of worship. It cradled a pulsing red orb, glowing with malevolent light. Cuthbert, Bolin, and I hesitated, but thrice-damned Mizir, driven by crazed impulse, thrust his torch in a hidden receptacle and thus sealed our fate. I actually think I know what this man is talking about. In that same instant we found ourselves in a place of suffocating dark, facing a creature that defies description, whose recollection caused my quill to jump and shudder. It is merciful, only fragments of our battle remain in my psyche. I see Cuthbert hacking at the curious appendages of the monster. I recall how a piece of its flesh slowed off and its own twisted accord sprang onto Bolin, piercing her stout plate. The occultist, as if to offer himself as tribute, was torn apart by its writhing limbs. The assault was overwhelming. With Cuthbert slain and as Bolin fell, I was grim by rage. I leapt and drove my axe into the creature's many eyes. Purple ichor splashed my face and my very soul shook as it bellowed. The only thing I can recall after was falling swiftly into blackness. I now find myself back in the Warrens among the remains of my companions. My wounds are too severe to allow the completion of my task. Thus the desecration must resume another time. Curious, there's a ring in my pocket. Where it came from, I cannot begin to guess. It bears the sigil of the estate's ancestral owner. Very curious. I will return with Cuthbert's banner and Bolin's crossbow so as to honor them with the proper burial. I will leave what is left of thrice-damned Mizir and his trinkets to the swine folk. Perhaps they will build him the memorial he rightly deserves. Yes, that is a fight against the Shambhala. Let's see what sort of missions do we have here. So we have Fight the Prophet, which would grant us more speed and stun versus Bloodsuckers, not bad. We have the Hag, which would give us less stress if suffering of Crimson Curse. And also have fresh air in the tunnels and a Gambler's Charm of more max HP but less death blow resist. By going for the animalistic shrines, but how we have gathered those things, I almost would like to take that as an omen. And an ill one at that. Do we have... You're giving me occultists, aren't you? Can't take one with a slow draw, even if I'm now guessing that I should have taken one instead of a Vestal. But let's see here. Hag or Prophet? I think we should be going for the Prophet. Thing is, we do not have a heal in the lower ranks. So I guess we'll have to make a rare deal of hiring an occultist. Treat them as
To fight the
expendable.
abyss, one must know it.
And see what we can do. So if we are going for the prophet, we should have Venoi. And Dismas with the pistol. Fighting from a position. We do have Marillac, which we actually could bring about. There he goes. We have a Dismas, and finally Kylie. Kylie doesn't want to be at the back. Well, too bad. You are our heal bot. Get used to the thought, for you will only be here for one mission. Yes, we cannot even train you. Nor give you better gear. You are expendable. Get used to the thought. And so, for a medium mission, let's bring a fair share of food, especially with an unreliable healer. A good bit of torches. Couple shovels. Couple keys. And one more shovel and one more key, won't hurt that much. It's the ruins, 2 bottles of holy water. And I do think that is about it. Some blood for our friend Marillac here, and we are about ready to roll.
Excavations beneath the manor were well underway when a particularly ragged indigent arrived in the hamlet. This filthy, toothless miscreant boasted an uncanny knowledge of my ambitions and prognosticated publicly that, left unchecked, I would soon unleash doom upon the world.
I actually think that this prophet man was not entirely wrong here.
The echoes of his mindless tittering reverberate maddeningly.
Mindless tithering, I don't know about that, ancestor. I think he rather had the right idea of you. Yeah, we are not coming back, so... That was a good map. An excellent map. Yes, and thank you. Well, alrighty then. Alright. 80% then doesn't quite work out. Well, after
Mind
that
that
map,
such
I
missteps are the
cannot
exception,
even be mad.
Not the rule.
So, Archduke Wellington McSkellingtons are currently teaming up on the poor Venoi, so we are going to have a case of madness in our hands, most likely.
Executed with impunity.
Since we do not really have a stress healer with us right about now. Let's see. Fall back to our ramparts. Stunned. And we might go in closer. Could have a grape shot it, now that I think of it. Well, nonetheless, this is proving to be a stressful, though otherwise not truly dangerous, an encounter.
Another one falls.
Alright, stress being healed is a good thing. And let's... quotes,
Be
make
gone,
them bleed.
fiend.
For it's hard to make a skeleton bleed.
Sedated.
I like that heal, I do. Go for the
Back
crush.
to the pit.
And crushed. This either healed stress or HP, I don't remember which, so... Now let's see if it does what we want. It did. It did both. Well, that's why I couldn't remember which it did.
Finding the stuff is only the first
I
test.
don't mind.
Now it must be carried home.
Let's try for the trap again, and... Good one. Alright, we might not actually have a Spur of Madness in our hands right at the start. This is a damage dealing encounter, I see. Well, let's go for the Arbalists then. With that 5 out of the way, we should be
As the
able to
fiend
kill him.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Well, Retribution. Let's hit anyone who hits us. Can't heal, so just bring the worst damage up front. We can't. Oh well. Crush him back. Everyone that hits him will get crushed, and if the damage is focused, it's easier to heal off.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And missed. Nice.
Their formation
bang,
is
bang.
broken. Maintain the offensive.
A 0, but no bleed.
Press this advantage.
Would have been funny
Give
to
them
see
no
him
quarter.
riposte, because he did no healing and inflicted a bleed, but that doesn't happen, sadly. An ornate sarcophagus slightly ajar. Well, you're expendable, go for it.
Glittering
Cash.
gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
A partly intact set of experimental equipment. Go for it. Blight. Who cares? This is another one of those stress
Continue the
stealing
onslaught.
encounters.
Destroy them all.
Better to call all the attacks on the man-at-arms again.
Confidence surges as the enemy
No
crumbles.
stress. Well, the heal worked this time around. Though the bleed is there, it's still a net gain. Haha, you didn't hit him. Heal yourself, I think. And take the shot. And let's take the Bone Soldier out of the game first. And we can turn our attention on the Rebel right after.
Powerful blow.
More blood
A trifling
is
victory.
a good thing to have.
But a victory nonetheless.
So what's in the sack? Check. Ah, now you are craving. Such an unfortunate thing to happen. And since the cure is right here... No. No and thank you, no Iron Maidens for me. And in here is... money and busts. And in here is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And there's hunger, which we have prepared well enough for. And this, in turn, is a fight. So let's prepare for it. And we need to get rid of the stress dealers. Which we are doing a good job of as of now. But the work continues and we absolutely didn't nail it at that time. Well, fall back to our ramparts. Too bad that it also pushes him in the front, so the Hellion cannot get a hit in, but we can fix that, hopefully. Yeah, that's better. So... crush them. Good one. Shoot the one in the back, for it's harder to reach. Give a heal for Dismas, would you? And you, on the other hand, are actually giving them a job. That might actually carry over to the next fight, which would be unfortunate, but if it does, then it does. Cannot win them all. But if it does, this should as well. And that should last for one round longer too. So let's go crushing.
Eradicated.
Outmaneuvered, eradicated, whatever you want to call it.
As victories
That
mount,
was
so
excellent.
too will resistance.
So what might we have here in this strongbox? Take a look, Kylie.
A fortune
Crests,
waiting
cash.
to be spent.
Very well. And the next fight we go. Brigands. I don't particularly like brigands. I think I will start slaying them in that case. And since we are doing that business,
Obliterated.
that's that one out. And now we'll finish the cutthroat, and we'll only have one cutthroat remaining. So you don't want any healing. Alright, give some for yourself then. One, well at least you did not bleed. Unlike this fine gentleman.
Destroyed.
And that attack did get the enemy.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
And here we have heirlooms. We cannot have deeds. Though we can if we suddenly lose our jade somewhere. No, there's no blood there, I checked. Yeah, we should check out these curios while we are at it. Why not, I say? Heirlooms,
A handsome reward.
more of
For a task well performed.
an unburned torch with citrine that we will not be needing. And since I don't want the extra stress, we might as well go and turn at the end of the hallway. We'll probably be burning a triple torch at that, and then wonder why on earth did we bring this many when we could have done with less. More hunger. That is surprising.
The twisted faces of the damned, piled high and cloaked in malice.
God damn it. Hello? I do not have run into a fight that many times that... Oh well, let's just take the trapezohedrons and be done with it. Let's see here. 135 stun base, yeah, that's good enough, go for it. The less the collector gets to do, the better. More accuracy, more critical, yeah, I'm all for it. So there we go. Now on this round we'll be less likely to stun him, so let's just pile out the damage that we can. For damage per round, that's not bad at all, and it's already less at less than half of its HP. Ew, 2 highwaymen. Ew. Well, there's not much to heal, so let's try to get them back where we can hit them. No such luck, I'm afraid. Well, if it's being guarded, we might as well go for the highwayman. Though you should check out Retribution, since you can now make a cause damage from multiple targets. Another mark fighting for the attention. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but at least we can finish that one off with a bit of grape shot. Oh, you're moving your guard to another target. Well, don't mind if I take advantage of that decision. Now we get the collector where we want him. So get on to the pummeling. Maybe should have healed himself. Post-cognition, best cognition. Collect calling again. But you're still pretty far in the front.
As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats prepare to feast.
Now that we are done with the collector, we shall move on with the highwaymen. 26. This is where we keep occultists around occasionally. That's 12. And he's being protected, so we'll have to go for the grape shot kill. Not extremely unlikely, I'll have to say. But it will be if they dodge. So let's rampart this
Devastating
one,
blow.
so they don't get annoying. Stop stressing out the party, Mariluck. Everything is fine.
Annihilated.
Now if we stun them, we should be able to finish off the highwayman. And now that we are safer from damage, everything should be fine and doable. So what's going to be the next thing is that we are going to run into another collector, because I just know it.
The ground quakes.
But it would seem that we are getting this fight out of the way rather rapidly. One trapezo
Be
hit.
wary.
Whole
Triumphant pride
one.
precipitates a dizzying fall.
Well, cannot complain too much. With the inventory full, I don't think we'll have much use for that. We don't want that madman, no we don't. For this very reason. Nor do we want that goblet, so let's do what we can about them. The swan just had to miss that time. Alright, madman, you are coming to the front with us. And we are going to be taking you out. Nothing personal. Well, that sure looks like it got crushed. Right, so in this next round, let's try and fix the problem we had with the bone courtier, shall we? Like actually hitting the things that are supposed to hit it. Well, if you're at the front, there's much less to be worried about. Since you will try to shank people instead of doing actually threatening things. But out of habit, you are going down. Right, we'll need to drop a heal on our highwayman. Bit of a crushing on the soldier. And then go for the bone defender. Easy. So
These nightmarish
portrait.
creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
We won't be taking the herbs. There's nobody's combat debuffs. They are getting tossed. The Knight's Crest's not too good. The portrait I would like. It's but a single portrait though. Still got 3 fights before the boss. The buffs last for 4. Don't they? If there is any. Yes. So we'll actually camp right here.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
We don't need much healing, so let's just go for a full meal. Well, alright, you do you. So you can clean your guns. You got plus dodge plus critical. You have things. Well, I think bandit sense fits, so we don't get ambushed. And instead of 8% crit for one fellow, I should get 3% crit and 10 dodge for the whole lot. And that should be about it. Plenty of blood left to shed.
The light, the promise
Well,
of
before
safety.
we go full grade, Marillac, lust for blood, my friend, lust for blood. And we'll come back here once we are done with the rest of this stuff. Since then we can be leaving supplies behind. This fight should be simple enough though. And yeah, that finishes it.
This
Virtue
expedition
chance,
at least
bah.
promises
Torch,
success.
sure it fits in. Gold, sure it fits in. But a trinket of virtue chance? Bah! We'll be checking that out later. And in this room we have the fight we're going to be having before the boss. Bandit Sense is playing in the game. That's down. And with second courtier down, this will be a walk in the park. So 6 to 12 or 6 to 11. Well, I have little reason not to
A
take this
singular
shot.
strike.
He never misses. Except when he does. But let's not talk about those moments, shall we? Bump in the night goes astray. And the knife that opens no veins shall
Foolish
find the
horrors.
death of a skeleton
Brought
on
low
the other
and
end.
driven into the mud.
Yeah, there's this holy water though. Don't think there's gonna be obstacles, so I'd rather have the gold. And we'll be looking at that later. As we will be looking at that later.
As the light gains purchase,
This is the final
Spirits are
fight
lifted.
before the boss.
and purpose is made clear.
The bandit sense seems to be really working out for us. We're getting surprises. in most of the fights, and oops, Rampart. Oh well. And no kills. And this could do it, and if it doesn't, it'll be left to shanking, and it actually does. But a good roll for once. That's excellent. Always nice to see those happen. Our expendable occultist has been doing remarkably well. But yet, slow draw is an annoying feature to remove, since, you know, removing quirks costs money. So I don't think we'll be keeping him unless he gets some real good stuff for himself. I don't really believe he will.
Well struck.
Hasn't thus far. I mean, if he picks up on guard, then sure.
Remind yourself
But
that
Ruins Explorer and
overconfidence is a
Slow
slow
Draw
and insidious killer.
are not very likely to fix the problem.
The match
And
is struck.
to the boss we
A
go.
blazing star is born. The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his mindless drivel.
So that's where the disaster will strike. Oh well. Dismas can take it. Can go for the Iron Swan. Oh, and if you are going to the front, you might as well buff the rest of the lot. Now they've got way too much move resistance for this. So let's just heal up who we can. Please don't do that. Time for new prognostication. And you are taking a step back, my friend. You are given a heal for Dismas. Not as much as I had hoped, but we are doing steady damage to the boss. To take down the first pew, we'll have to take down the second pew as well. I do think we can do it. But for the time being, shoot him with what we can shoot him with. And start whacking on the first pew with this man. Alright? Kill yourself. Do not kill yourself. Birds to live by. I think he actually said, I got eye on you! Oh, that was a lot of damage. Well, good thing none of it is on the Hellion. And if he put up Retribution, we might actually hit the boss. Might. Nothing's saying we wouldn't. Alright, you are fine.
Masterfully executed.
Almost there.
Did he foresee
And
his
there.
own demise? I care not, so long as he remains dead.
No consecrated pews, since I didn't destroy any. These charms are frankly rather bad. I pressed return to Hamlet by accident. Oh well, some treasure was left behind. A fair deal of treasure was collected. So what do we have here? Unquiet Mind and Clutch Hitter. Yeah, Kylie, you are going out. Backtrack and Fast hair replacing irrepressible. Rabies. Well, it only makes you stronger.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
6 more recruits, huh? Nice. We'll be finding a replacer for Kylie. Easily now. And we have got our heroes rid of the diseases. There better be a Vestal in here. No healers. Am I getting shafted here? Well, nonetheless, I do believe that is enough for this time, for that misclick may hint at that I am not fully concentrating. So I'll be seeing you people next week. Until then, let's keep the delving to moderate amounts, shall we? No reason to go too deep just yet.